Okay, Q&A. So, a lot of customers coming up with a lot of questions with respect to the cloud computing solution. So, before I recommend to plan for migrating servers from on-premises to cloud infrastructure, I would strongly recommend to go through the kind of services being offered by the cloud service providers, and they need to understand the basic difference between the different deployment scenarios, different type of services. So based on that, we can decide whether we should be planning for the migration from the infrastructure to the cloud. So there are a couple of questions I mentioned here, and I would be more than happy to answer these questions. So we need to understand the basic difference between the software as a services and infrastructure as a services. The software as a services is basically, it goes like that: when you're availing the kind of customized solutions as a software as services, you pay by month. But the infrastructure services is like a building blocks. You're availing the kind of services. It's like a core infrastructure services, like a networking solution, storage solution, database solutions. You're creating multiple virtual machines, and then also you're leveraging the multiple solutions, data backup and disaster recovery. So these comes under the infrastructure services as a core IT solutions. But the software is like it's customized or predefined solutions as per the customer's needs, and you pay as per monthly basis. How do we know which solution is good for organization? So based on the customer's needs, we need to discuss with the service provider, architect and designer, and discuss what are the solutions they are offering and how they are planning to migrate your services from on-premises to cloud services. And then based on the discussion and architecture discussion, then we should be planning for which solution is good for organization. For a small and medium base companies, it's better to understand, go through the services being offered, and understand what kind of services is going to be beneficial for the company, and how can you manage your cost as per your need. The next question we have: how to monitor usage of the existing services. So when you access, or when you avail, or when you get the contract with the service provider, they give you the customer portal through which you can manage the services, how many virtual machines are running, what are the memory, CPU and the hard disk, and what are the services, like whether how many load balancer you using, how many firewall networking solutions, storage, type of backup solutions you have. So on the customer portal, you can go through the kind of it's like a catalog. It gives you the more information about the services which are being used. Okay, so how to access our servers hosted in public cloud. So normally when you access, when you subscribe, or when you accessing the services from the cloud service provider, there you can access the servers based on the secure channels, based on the RDP connections, or based on the browser. You can download the SSH, the secure package, through which you can log into the server, and you can manage your servers. Sometimes they're also creating the virtual private connections between your data center or your public cloud. So you can simply log into your servers through the secure channel of the VPN. What are the risks associated with data? It depends on the kind of the services you're taking from the cloud service provider. If you really, sometimes the customer wanted to keep the data inside the premises, and all the public public services being outsourced to the cloud services infrastructure. So it's like it's completely dependent company to company how they really want to go with the data. And then obviously when you're keeping the data, your critical data on the customer customer or on the cloud infrastructure, it's definitely a risk associated with that. But it's always better if you discuss with the service provider, understand the kind of services, how you take the schedule backup or routine backup, how you can replicate the data of your customer and also the cloud services infrastructure. You can create some sort of communication between your backup solutions and also your server hosted in public. So these are the solution you can these are the solution you can or you can use to secure your data. How developer access the hosted servers? It's again through the RDP or some sort of communication channel, whether they can access from the customer portal, they can log into the server from there, and sometimes they have a VPN connection to access the server remotely. How to control changes in the cloud environments? Normally, they have a very standard guidelines based on the customer's needs. If any changes needs to be done in the environment, you can simply document or ask them to document if any changes is happening in the infrastructure. So they will communicate your local IT team or the CTO or the respective team members or anyone within your organization if any changes happening in the cloud environments. Or you can define your customized documentation based on your company's standard, and they will follow as per your requirements. So these are the questions I mentioned. Even if you have more questions, I'll be more than happy to answer. Feel free to send email at support@asa-networkconsulting.com.au, or you can also put the comment on YouTube channels, and that will be more easy for me to comment on that. Thanks for watching ASA Network Consulting videos. I'll be more than happy and to answer your questions and concerns, and I'll be uploading more videos for IT professionals. Thanks for watching.